Yo, what's up, everybody? Good to see you guys in. It's your boy FG. Thanks for tuning in to the late night stream here. Kind of a busy day for me, man. It's payroll day at NickCipher, so I got a lot of mouths to feed, and I'm on little sleep. But it is a new monthly candle, so it's just really important that I come out real quick, update you guys on the monthly situation. But first, before we begin, 20% off the indicators, NickCipher.com. If you use code FG, you can get the NickCipher right there for yourself. And good to see you guys in the chats here. Took like a small nap just so I wasn't completely dragging ass for the stream, but good to have you guys in. All set. Divergence Dom, Jake the Snake, Surge, Arc Signal, Caleb, Nightshade, Smashy, Pain Dominates, Takeshi, West the Electrician, Peter the Milkman. Good to have all you guys in, man. You guys got the funniest names, man. But we're going to keep it quick today, okay? It's not a super meaty, like super educational stream. We're just going over this monthly signal. I'm not in any trades. I'm super light on sleep. So it's just a monthly candle review, and we're going to talk about it. So this monthly Heiken Ashi candle, you know, it's not a momentum candle. It's not a monthly candle that would prompt an immediate trade setup, an immediate macro trade setup. Like over here, for instance, you know, you have an actual monthly momentum candle, which would prompt you to create this trade right here. You kind of target like a 2-to-1 there, right there. So, you know, that, you know, you get a momentum candle and it kind of gets you looking at that sort of idea. Same here with this type of momentum candle. Prompts you to put your stop behind that swing high and look for that 2-to-1, you know? And so we haven't really seen that in the current day. We didn't get that succinct, clean monthly candle. Last month was kind of a fight, but if you think about it, last month was only a fight because of some manipulation at the start of the month. We had that Trump tweet that pushed us up to the election day VWAP, if you guys remember, and that was our monthly high for the month of March. So while there is a top wick to this monthly wick, just remember like what caused that top wick. It was like tweet news manipulation. So maybe this should have been a more succinct momentum candle if it weren't for that manipulation event. But either way, Bitcoin's Heiken Ashi is showing increased bearish momentum, but not an actual momentum candle yet on the monthly. That would be this month if the trend continues. So, you know, when this monthly wave loses the 60 line, which we are right there on the cusp, guys. I don't know if it's going to be this month or next month, but the losing of the 60 line is just as bearish of a signal as the red dot itself. Sometimes it can be even more bearish. So we go into this month clutching our nuts, man, for sure. Like, look what happens to Bitcoin when we lose that 60 line. That is the bearish move, you know? Like, the red dot gives you the little doji, gives you the little indecisive candle. It's the crossing of the Rubicon, the plus 60 line, when the chart loses that runaway train status. That's like the true reckoning. So, and you know, for the last couple months, we've been talking about how most of these dumps, when you get that red dot, you know, look at that dump from the high, 40%, 40 to 50% from the high. And we have been commenting how the current dump is just not that big of a dump compared to previous monthly double red dot situations. But that doesn't mean that volatility has reduced because of institutions. Maybe it means that the dump hasn't fully finished yet. So if this were to come down and be more of a textbook monthly dump, we would be looking at a 50 to 60K Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if it would go all the way down there right away. We're going to go into the daily time frame perhaps, and we're going to look at the LeapFrog V3. This is my volume weighted support and resistance indicator that I coded myself for my community here. I have a bustling Discord that revolves around this tool here. These are all the profit logs from people absolutely killing it over the last couple weeks, and these are pretty recent too. Like, this is a very active Discord of people calling out LeapFrog plays, jumps from new weekly VWAPs to previous weekly VWAPs on all sorts of coins. So you know, if you want to join the VWAP movement, I'd say it's a good deal. You just click the link in my description and you go to this little link here. It goes to my WAP, and it's like $125. You get the indicator for life, and you get a month of my trading Discord, and you get my trade signals, and you get the VWAP tool. And make sure you guys follow my Twitter as well, at FloppingGroper. But looking at Bitcoin on the daily here, man, look how smack dab in the middle of the year-to-date VWAPs we are on Bitcoin. So this is quite an indecisive point for us to be at in the markets. Given that it is now about to be April 1st, it is now Q2. And when a new quarter begins, oftentimes we like to retread back to the previous quarter's anchored VWAP, which in this case is the 2025 year-to-date. That's the year-to-date is another way of saying the Q1 VWAP or the January VWAP. So interestingly enough, while the situation is macro bearish, right, the LeapFrogs are actually telling us that this is in the cards. This move to test the year-to-date VWAP is something that could happen, and it does not change the overall bearish picture. So just be mindful, guys, that what the VWAPs are saying from a quarterly standpoint is that we don't necessarily have to just come up right now and be bullish, but we may go down, then up, or up, then down. But there is actually a bullish quarterly LeapFrog situation going on here. So there's a new VWAP in town. It's probably hard to see right now. I'd have to zoom in to the very small time frame. Basically, the new daily VWAP, the most recent daily VWAP, it's a baby right now, but this particular anchored VWAP is going to grow into an absolute monster, guys. See how it's overlapping? That's our new monthly VWAP. That is the April VWAP right here. Just started at this low here. So far, already taking the price up. So far, right out the gate, quarter two is looking good. Just the first couple hours of it. So, and look, we are quite far away from that previous weekly VWAP. So, you know, even though the overall situation is grim, guys, the weekly leap is bullish here. We are in an established 5-day downtrend, so it's risky. Longs are risky. Obviously, we're looking at that monthly wave situation, and we're looking at the monthly Heikin-Ashi situation. And that inherently puts all longs at risk. In fact, my last major market update was that March update, the relief month narrative that I was talking about, and I said, yes, we could go up, there could be some relief, but it's risky because the overall situation's bearish. So that vibe is still lingering, the stench is still lingering, but there is possibility for upside, not just to the previous weekly VWAP at 85, but potentially all the way up to the year-to-date VWAP, which I believe would be a very, very stiff, strong, tough resistance for Bitcoin to get over. Potentially a really great area to short if we do go up there before going lower. But the reason why I'm so on the fence and not just like max bidding one direction or the other is because we have some conflicting macro ideas. So, you know, most charts have dumped from this VWAP, the 2025 year-to-date, back down to last year's 2024 year-to-date VWAP. This is what we call a yearly LeapFrog. So at the start of a new year, sometimes charts like to retreat back to that previous year-to-date VWAP in the same way that it retreats back to a previous quarterly or weekly. So as you guys can see here, Bitcoin has not finished. It has not completed its year-to-date VWAP leap. This move right here, this dump down to the 2024 year-to-date, has not happened yet. So, given that we have a bullish quarterly leap and a bearish yearly leap, this kind of gives you some directional woes. This is giving me directional woes for sure. We're also right smack dab in the middle of the range, guys, so I actually don't think it's the best time to trade right now in the short to medium term. Now, in a week or so, we're going to have a really good idea of which of these macro VWAPs we are in fact going to hit first. For instance, if the weekly LeapFrog plays out and we are suddenly reclaiming the March VWAP as support, well then you bet your bippy that we're going to probably have a bearish retest of that year-to-date VWAP before a full wash back down to the 2024 year-to-date. That's one idea that I have in my head that I'm prepared for. Another one is, you know, this is resistance. We meet some resistance around this level here. We could still hit that weekly LeapFrog and dump. So I would say that, you know, around this level, if we start getting rejection and we are not able to reclaim the March VWAP, then you get the dump first, and then you could potentially pump from there back up to the year-to-date. So it's a tough situation, guys. It's tough. It's a little bit indecisive. In my mind, what I'm thinking in my mind is, man, I wish that we would hit one of these year-to-dates so that I could trade back to the other one, right? So I'm creating if-then statements in my mind, even though at this current junction in time, my macro ideas are a little bit cloudy. But I have a feeling that later this month, the market will fall into my trap of understanding and I'll be able to form some good ideas. So I will say that if at any point in this month there is a bearish weekly LeapFrog setup, for instance, like what I would love to see is we do actually come up, we have a bullish weekly leap, and we come up here to that year-to-date, and around the turn of next week, we get that bear setup, and it's going to be a big one, guys. Man, I would love to have that. So just because the monthly looks terrible, don't get caught up in that, you know, the short-term price action, the short-term squeezing and grinding. And just be mindful of a couple of these monthly Heiken Ashi levels, guys. So the monthly Heiken Ashi opened up at 88,293. So that is a level that is like a very important level for the bears to hold on to. 88,293. Let's see where this is at the smaller time frames. So if the bulls are able to push the price above this level, the monthly wick creates the monthly candle, I should say, creates a top wick, which invalidates this monthly candle as a momentum candle, which means it'll be more of an indecisive candle. Doesn't mean it couldn't absolutely nuke, but it does disqualify it as a macro momentum candle that would immediately prompt a macro swing short. So just be mindful that this level needs to be defended by the bears. 88,293. We'll go into these small time frames, and you can see that that is what needs to happen. For that to happen is a full-on weekly LeapFrog, 3% jump, reclaim the March VWAP. And this is a monthly leap as well, guys, if you think about it. So a new month just formed, right? When a new month forms, we like to go back to the previous month, which would be up here. So there's actually a monthly and a weekly LeapFrog stacking up here, telling us that the price may want to revisit this 85K region. So if we do go up there and we do somehow defy this 5-day downtrend, that black line there, it's a tough 5-day downtrend, man. Makes longs very risky right now. But if we were to get up there, it's not too much farther from there to flip the previous quarterly view, that like previous Q4 VWAP as support. And if you can just pretty much just sweep this high right here, the monthly candle situation goes from absolute doom and gloom, the world is over, fire off the macro swing short 2-to-1 and just come back in 6 months. You know what I mean? It goes from that to, okay, now it's a fight, it's a drama, there's a drama, it's dramatic. So yeah, just be mindful of whether this month turns into a indecisive monthly hike in Ashib, or if it stays a strong bearish momentum candle. A lot of conflicting ideas at the turn of this month, but overall the vibe is bearish. Let me show you guys the stock market real quick. So stock market, although I do see a little bit of anchor trigger here, but this looks infantile to say the least, but like it hasn't fully rounded out yet. But you do see money flow coming up here on this time frame. What about the daily? Now, the problem with the S&P right now is look at that money flow trend, guys. The money flow on the daily has absolutely bled out. Not really sure how much worse they could get. This could get. Not only did we lose the yearly VWAP, but now we are trying to find support on the previous year's VWAP, and it seems like we're really testing that. We're really giving that 2024 year to date a hard time on the stock market here. So this could get really bad, guys. Even though this is like some key support that signifies that we are at some really good value from a year-to-year standpoint, the stock market is rather cheap. We're very below the 2025 year-to-date prices, and it's basically at fair value from last year's perspective. So it is cheap from like a year-to-year basis, but if this is the end, then this is like a larger, like decade-sized dump, you know? So yes, year-to-year we're at good value, but from a 5-year standpoint or a 10-year standpoint, we could be about to run into some issues if we lose this previous year's year-to-date. And overall, the stock market, like until we see a sufficient bounce from this VWAP, it's quite bearish, guys. And there's a long way down on the S&P. It's hard to be bearish on the S&P even as it's come down all the way, but I was putting out signs in my VIP all the way back in January. But looking at the monthly on the S&P, you can see that we did get our first red Heiken Ashi monthly candle this week. Nice topping Heiken Ashi pattern there. And ultimately that monthly wave looking to cross the 60 line to the downside. So this could keep going on for a while. I mean, we've seen a lot of pain in the markets. We've only seen 1 month of true pain in these markets. So this could keep going on. I mean, look at this dump. Lasted 9 months back here. So stock market could be in for a lot of pain, guys, and that brings us down with it. So as a community, we are, we're hopeful things can change. Obviously, at any time we could get a green dot on here, things could turn up, and oh, we're idiots for being bearish and we were stupid all along. But that's not how you trade and invest. You trade and invest off the data. You go by the data as it comes. And I think we've done a great job as a community not being overly doom and gloom at the lows. Like, we know that, we're at some decent yearly value, maybe even biannual value, but we're anticipating perhaps a 5-year or 10-year level dump. Something real big rolling through. Wes the Electrician says BTC won't go below 82 again. Let her rip. Man, that would be nice, man. That would be nice. The only thing is that we haven't tested Michael Saylor's average entry yet, man. We got to go down there to that previous year's year to date, satisfy that yearly LeapFrog test Michael Saylor's average entry. It's coded, man. You can't say that that's not going to happen. This is such a important support right here. This horizontal support, that previous March, last March's high right here. I got a feeling like this is coded. It's just that if you're too eager, you're going to get shredded. Like, this could actually weekly leap up, come up to the year to date, and then start working its way down there. So don't be so antsy, you know, trying to short the crap out of this thing. I'm open to some possibilities, but I think it could go lower, man. I think it could go as low as 50K, 40K, 30K. I mean, it just could. That's just, it could do that, you know? If the macroeconomic situation, if the markets are really, if the S&P really does what we think it could do, and there's something really big coming on the horizon for us, then Bitcoin's not going to make it, guys. At least initially. It may have a resurgence when the dust settles, but Bitcoin simply is not digital gold. It hasn't been tested in the fires of a 2008 style crash. So you really can't say that it's digital gold until it proves itself in the impending calamity. We look at gold here, on the other hand. Gold's pushing up all-time highs. This is what we want Bitcoin to do. This is what gold's doing. I mean, look at gold. A new year comes around, and we're not going down to the previous year's year to date. Everything's just sloping up, looking nice and bullish. There's really no reason to short gold down to the previous year's year to date or anything like that yet. It's not showing any real weakness that would make you want to have that idea. So that whole narrative of Bitcoin is like gold, it's taking kind of a backseat, at least right now in time, you know. Bitcoin will have its time, don't worry, you know, but right now it's seen more as like a tech stock, and it's like a risk on asset. It's not the safe bet. And I've been stacking gold. Check this out, guys. I just got a new 1 ounce of gold here. So I put my money where my mouth is. I got some gold there. I really believe in it. I was thinking about selling some gold at this 3K level, and my thought on it was like, you know, I want to give this gold, kind of like how Michael Saylor says, give the Bitcoin to your children and shit. Like, it's like my children they can't do anything with a Bitcoin. But if 50 years from now, if gold is like some insane price and like only royalty can have gold, and like nobody even has a golden wedding band anymore, and like you're special if you have gold, and I have this, you know, that's status, that's wealth, that's, yeah. So I've been starting to, and especially when you touch gold, get some gold and hold it in your hands and look at it. It's shiny, it's nice, it holds its value. So yeah, just make sure you're balling. Make sure you have gold so you can get married and have your wedding ring when the economy collapses and the dollar implodes and everything's too expensive. But you know, before I wrap it up, guys, because that's pretty much, it's a pretty short spiel. We're going over that monthly situation on Bitcoin. We can just go over a couple alts real quick. So my people love the Farcoin. I also love Farcoin. Out of all the memes, it's one of the more promising memes of 2025. It's got a lot of work to do. We're still like very, very far from the high, like 83% down from the high. But it doesn't really feel that way. Like, farts, it's fun to trade. Like, we still love it. It's got a lot of work to do. If it did get a weekly leap to the upside and it was able to reclaim this net of VWAP resistances at like 56 cents. 56 cents is a tough level for fart. But if you break these highs, fart is like looking real bullish, and you'd get like a bullish clip up here. and a daily VWAP cross to the upside and stuff. So I'm open to that, but it's all just like short scalps and like short trades on fart. I don't like hold fart, but I mean, maybe I should hold my farts in. Solana here, just absolutely struggling here. There could be a little trigger wave to the upside here, but the problem is being under 2 year-to-date VWAPs like this, 2 years of volume-weighted pressure pushing down the price. Solana is definitely cheap from that like 2-year perspective, right? It's like cheap around 2 years of VWAPs underneath that. That's like technically good value. In any other market in the past would be like, ooh, yeah, you got to scoop some Solana down here. But let's check the monthly. The problem is that you want to like buy the dip on Solana and get that good value, but it's in the middle of a strong Heikin-Ashi monthly downtrend. So this has to repair itself, mend itself first before you get too hopeful on Solana. Same with Ethereum here. Just you know, anyone calling like a bottom on ETH in the middle of this is just a fool. Like, just unfollow them on Twitter, guys. Like, you need an entire month or 2 or 3. You need a whole quarter of these shitcoins showing recovery and strength in the candlesticks before you just start willy-nilly calling a bottom and calling alt season and all this shit. This is going to keep bleeding, and it could keep bleeding for months. Like this last stretch of red, 11 bars, 11 months of straight down on ETH. So don't trade against monthly Heikin-Ashi. You know, it's like if you're going to be longing and schlonging, it's high risk, and you probably want to exit your positions in profit. XRP, oh my gosh, guys, this is I'm actually just looking at this now. I didn't look at this prior to the stream, but this is a very bearish chat. Check this out. Look at this bearish monthly close on Ripple. So we're obviously going to have to wait for this month for the follow through. If this current candle closes red, that affirms that bearish doji there. And Ripple is ultimately at risk of that yearly LeapFrog that dumped down to like $1.30. That's some good value down there. And it's taken some time for Ripple to balance out as these larger macro VWAP supports have kind of tapered off and gone flat. That gives the bears the chance to kind of knock the doors down, eventually work its way down. Perhaps it comes up, and then maybe it could work its way down if the stock market continues lower, if Bitcoin continues lower. Obviously, Ripple is also going to continue lower, and we're going to be looking around these levels down here for potential bottoms. Let me put my labels up here. Boom. Okay, so you got the year to date at $1.30, last April's VWAP at $1.41, and last July's VWAP at $1.54. Got a very strong, I believe this is a div here. So price going higher on XRP, momentum pretty much flattening out there. You're in the middle of a strong red Heikin-Ashi here. So there's currently like a big swing trade happening on XRP. We covered this in our Heikin-Ashi video. If any of you guys want to learn how to trade with Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, by the way, check out my one of my more recent lives, the Heikin-Ashi Masterclass. But you get this big like red momentum candle on Ripple, and it prompts you to put that macro swing trade up. Stop loss behind the high, you target the 2 to 1 there. And basically what this idea is saying is because of that momentum candle, there's a potential that this pump gets eaten up and erased. Not that it has to happen, but that's just the idea that just kind of gets thrust upon you when you see that red momentum candle to the downside. I see someone in the chat mentioning SWE, so we're going to go over SWE real quick. My brother's been trading SWE. SWE also in a weekly Heikinashi downtrend. Now, obviously, things could change if you get a little trigger wave. Things can get real nice and volatile to the upside in like the medium term. We are at some very strong year-to-date VWAP support here, so that would be great if we got that chop. Since a new quarter has begun on SWE, it would be real nice to get this move first before continuation down. So we're in Q2, we go back, we retest Q1 as resistance, and then continue the dump. That would be SWE falling into my trap of understanding and like doing what I want and think it could do. It could just dump from here, you know, it could just roll over and just be dead, you know. But as a trader, you're thinking, how do I short from a high place, from a point of strength? And this year-to-date level, currently at 350 on SWE, is like a real nice level. If things get bullish this month on SWE, that would be a nice level to short SWE at later this month. Crypto King says CryptoFace keeps calling for the reversal on the weekly. Yeah, he might be front running a little bit because the weekly has not shown any green candles yet, but you are seeing some indecisiveness. You like the doji right there. Overall, this trend is not incredibly strong. It keeps running into issues where the momentum wicks like are reducing all of a sudden, and like I said, it's at that strong year-to-date support. So there could be a weekly bullish leap going into a monthly leap and then a quarterly. Like, things could really get out of hand to the upside if you're overly bearish on SWE at this time. Like, yes, it is macro bearish, but it could honestly do anything in the next couple weeks and still fit into the overall bearish narrative. Royal Nerve says, let's go champ. The amount of push-ups done on this channel is insane. Yes, sir, man. If you guys go to my shorts, you'll see last year I did 35,000 push-ups, recorded it, posted it, got over 100 people doing the push-ups with me, started my own push-up movement, getting Bitcoin to 100K. So it feels weird. It's like this year has been a totally different life experience, like coming into 2025 bearish off these monthly wave signals after being so bullish all last year and being this champion for 100K Bitcoin. Now we're kind of in the bear market, so it's the time to not work out, play some World of Warcraft, get nice and fat, crash out, get dumped, lose your wife and kids. It's the perfect season for giving away all the gains you made in the bull run. But hopefully that push-up challenge inspired you guys to like keep healthy, keep active, bull or bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's coming to save you. In a bull market, actually, the people are coming to save you. But in a bear market, it's every man for himself. And so if you need your boy Groper to tell you to do push-ups and take care of yourself in a bear market, I'm sorry, man. Bear markets are tough enough as it is, man. I'm going to the gym, working out myself. But you guys got to motivate yourselves, man. I personally want to see who's still here the next monthly green dot we get on Bitcoin. You know, I want this thing to come down, you know, and around this point right here, you know, you'll get a nice green dot on the waves, right? The price will be higher, the wave will be lower, it'll be a hidden bull div. We'll get a nice nipple green dot on that wave, and your boy FG will come out and say, we're doing the 100K challenge again, gosh dang it. And this time, the world will believe me. Whereas last time I was a nut and a psychopath, and only a few people followed me. I think the second 100K challenge would absolutely go stupid and go crazy, man. I'm ready, bro. Maybe that's my life purpose, is to cycle after cycle just be the champion for 100k Bitcoin, and like this just happens over and over again for the next few decades. That would be hilarious. Like Bitcoin just 100k, we never really go that much over it. It's like now a financial instrument for institutions, an institutional pump and dump that the money breathes in and out of Bitcoin like a lung, and it kind of just hovers around that 6-digit resistance for a long time. That would suck, but it would give me a lot of purpose, man. I would just be the 100k guy. Some people have been telling me to do 200 push-ups a day till 200k. Good thing I didn't do that, man. That would have been a life sentence, man, if I didn't throw in the towel at 100k. But man, that's about it for me, guys. That's my spiel. Went over the altcoins, went over the monthly candle. Bearish momentum increasing. Not a full-blown, as you can see, not a full-blown momentum candle that prompts an easy mode short. It's kind of an indecisive wick because of that tweet, the Trump tweet manipulation we got at the start of March. But this current candle, we'll just have to see. Is this the momentum candle that sends us down to that yearly LeapFrog play? I think this month could get crazy, guys. It could be a complete wash where we get not only the test of the previous quarterly VWAP, aka our year to date, but we could also dump there. So this could be an incredibly volatile month, or just another indecisive month. I'm not really sure, guys, but a lot of possibilities on the table, being that it's a new quarter. So you know, I wish I had a more clear direction, but hopefully some of these insights helped you guys. Hopefully you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. But that's all for me, guys. Keeping it short today. Got my sister over right now, so yeah. You guys have a great night. I'll be back next Monday.